Hi there.
Good morning.
Happy second Friday of January,
Yeah.
2025.
Welcome to First Friday on the second Friday.
That's
Yeah,
right. First
exactly.
Friday, second Friday. Excellent. All right. All right, Courtney, are you kicking us off or am I kicking us
Sure,
off today?
sounds
Okay.
good. All
All
right.
right, good. Hi,
Um,
everybody.
yes, hi and welcome. We're so happy to have people back today in this new year. Happy New Year to everybody. So today we're going to talk about how to turn reactivity into resilience is our topic. We think this is a good topic coming off holidays and heading into a new year. So just as a reminder about this whole webinar series, the big why about why we at HLG care about hosting this is, first of all, to just anchor us in this mad world of how do we have a place where something to anchor your leadership, a little port in the storm before you go back out into the storm, um, and something to root us in this work. Connection. We've been talking a lot about the need for connection. A focus. We want to make sure that you have something specific to focus on, and hopefully some inspiration. I was really inspired by some of the things I learned last month from all of you in the chat. So hopefully you're getting some nuggets too.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy to see you all again for sure. Yeah, great.
And then we want to do learning that is current and relevant. It tends to an emergent need that we're seeing, and that it's practical and applicable. We know that that's important, that your time, how do I take something away from here that I can implement? We know that feels important. And in a world of complexity, we want a space of simplicity. So we're looking for those pockets where we can find them for sure. All right, and a couple of ways to engage, ways to participate today. Stash away the recordings. So Sam sends them out. Sam from our team sends these out afterwards, so you can keep them in a little file. I'm sure all of us have a file of. Well, I'll listen to that, or I'll read that. So maybe it's my fantasy file. Listen live and join us. Use the chat at any time, and I do want to mention that if you can. Switch the little in the chat right now. A lot of it says hosts and panelists. So if you switch it to everyone, then everyone will get to see your wisdom.
Yeah, we got some feedback last month that people were only seeing parts of the chat. We realized that's why. So we want everyone to see everybody. Yeah,
we do. Yes. And convene a learning cohort. It's always great to work with and learn with one another. And then between sessions, we really encourage you to take one action. Shannon, what's our favorite person say that we should do things
with as little effort as possible. That's my mantra, everybody, for 2025. I'm working with a somatic coach, and she's like, with as little effort as possible, do this thing. And I was like, ooh, I'm digging that. I like it. So with as little effort as possible, do one thing.
Exactly. There you go. Sam, I'm sure you're seeing in the chat, but it says it's not giving you an option to change from hosts and panelists to everyone. So I'm sure Sam's checking on that for us. Thank you.
Right.
And then share your learning with others, right? Why wouldn't we? All right. So the first thing we're going to do today, and if we can't figure out how to do it, then I will read out some of the things in the chat. But we at HLG always start everything with a check-in. When we meet with each other, when we do facilitated sessions with groups, when we do one-on-one coaching, that we get present. And a check-in can serve an alarming number of things, truly. But one is to get present in our own selves, that this is the space I'm in now.
Yeah.
What happened before is still there. How do I name it? And then kind of that allows me to get present. It allows me to truly hear where everyone else, how they're showing up in the room. I think it helps me release some judgment perhaps sometimes, right? Like if someone's checking their phone a lot, I'm writing a story that they're bored with everything we're doing, when really their child is sick and they're wondering if they have to go pick them up. So when we check in and say how we're showing up, it's really a gift we're giving to each other of a way that we can assume positive intent, a way that we can respect and enjoy and collaborate together.
Yeah.
So, Shannon,
I had a team leader who, I think I might have shared this last month, but I had a team leader who implemented just a short check-in with his team. And he was blown away by what he learned about them, and in a short amount of time. And so I think that as a team leader, how are you staying current with what's happening with your team? How do you know where they're at, what they're experiencing on the day-to-day? So this is an easy way to do it.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. So how are
Hey,
you
Sam
showing
fixed it.
up
We're
today?
all
Now
in.
it's working. I see. Sam says it's fixed. Showing up as curious. Thank you, Sandra. That's great. Oh, feeling cranky. I love it. See, now that is always helpful in a team meeting to be like, oh, okay, she's not cranky with me. She's just
Nope, just
generally cranky. Rested. I love that. Oh, we got a bunch of rested, frustrated. Very
Frustrated.
good to know. Showing up behind. How are we already behind? It's only the 10th. I feel you. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Oh, good. Trying to be gentle. Please.
Stacy Nyman. Hi. Yeah.
Anxious to get started on stalled project. Ready for the weekend. Happy Friday. Yep. Yep. Friday vibes for some of the folks. I appreciate that.
So just
All right.
notice what we
Yeah.
already know now about the people that are with us. That's it. And I love what you said, Courtney, is now we know it's not personal. The frustration, the exhaustion, the excitement, even like not
Right.
about us, it's about whatever's
Yeah.
showing up with them.
Yeah.
And so I think this is so important to realize that within a minute, we have a sort of a gauge of what we're present to in the room.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not to say you couldn't get frustrated with us in a minute, but right now it's not about us.
That's true.
Okay.
Maybe she's
So-
frustrated about the check-in. I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing, everybody, and welcome. All right. Oh, no, I went the wrong direction. Excuse me. All right. So this month's leadership focus is how to bring choice to our actions and reactions. And a lot of our work is really focusing on that how do we get to be intentional and at choice about how we're showing up as leaders, and not as leaders in our work life and in our home life, right? We're leaders in all sorts of areas. And so that feels pretty important. So the first thing we're going to talk about is getting thrown. Getting thrown is when something unwanted and unexpected happens. Getting thrown. Something that simple. I don't know about the rest of you. I probably get thrown, I don't know, 147 times a day. And it is, for example, this morning I came to log in here to work with Sam and Shannon, and my computer restarted and all of my 8 million tabs closed. This is getting thrown. How do I start my morning differently than I intended to start it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then I'll just add, like,
Yeah.
so part of, and this is a distinction that we heard, I mean, honestly, I think it's been about
Yes.
20 years where this idea surfaced for Henley. This is sort of one of our core tools that we do with teams and with people,
Yes.
but I'd say the speed at which information, how much
Yeah.
access we have to news, the nonstop notifications and pings and
Yes.
devices, the opportunities for us to be thrown are
Yes.
more often than ever before.
Yeah,
And so
thanks.
us building some awareness around this distinction matters so deeply because we need to be able to name the moment and understand that's what's happening right now. And there is, like I said, it's ongoingly now.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Thanks, Shannon. So in the chat, first of all, reflect for a moment here. We'll give it a minute to reflect on 2 to 3 situations where you've recently been thrown at work or in your personal life. And we really recommend, and we do this in our sessions as well, that it's on a scale of 1 to 10 of being thrown. Pick kind of a 1 to 2 or 3 for range. I was just listening to Simon Sinek, who talked about at his company, they say if it's over a 5, it's not just that situation. It's not just work. It's probably other things. And so if the reaction is over a 5, so we're going to stick with 1 to 4s.
Yeah.
The example I would put for yes is that on we had a team meeting yesterday, and I thought it was going to be a work day. So I was like, great, I have Thursday to work. And instead it was a team meeting all day that I found out on Wednesday. And I was like, oh, I'm not doing work on Thursday. Now, it ended up being more fun, of course, and enriching and engaging. And on Wednesday, I was definitely thrown by that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and I think about the things that are 1 to 3s are the things that happen all day long.
Yep.
And so if we don't have awareness that like I'm being thrown, they build up.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden you think things are feeling more like a 6 or 7, but really it's just an accumulation. So one of my favorite ones right now that happens often is I'll close the day and I'll look at the next day and I'll say, oh, good, I have this spot open. Here's how I'm going to run my day. I'll go to bed. And then overnight, people, I guess, decide they really want to meet with me the next day and they book meetings. And then I wake up to a very full day and
Yeah.
and I'll get thrown because I thought it was going to go a certain
Yeah.
way and now it's not.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's common. It's not like
Yeah.
there's something terribly wrong, but it's unexpected and not something that I was planning on.
Yeah. Shannon Raymond just put the exact same thing as
Hey,
in the chat. Yep. So that's
thank you for feeling the pain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
4 days in the office being required. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
That sounds maybe even higher than a 1 to 3. That sounds like a life
Yeah.
adjustment for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, Sandra. So more work than anticipated, I think, is a big one. Poor weather.
Totally. Oh,
Yeah.
in Texas. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think, even since I would say in some ways from like March 2020 when the pandemic was declared until today, there's been a lot of opportunity. I mean, go home, come back, work virtually, work in person. The amount of change, every time we have a change, there's a disruption. It's an opportunity to be thrown as well.
That's right. That's right. I was a school administrator for a long time. And so basically my whole day was just getting thrown because it was always thrown off course. Picking on a partner, absolutely. The LA fires, Julie, thinking about you and your people for sure.
Yeah.
People calling in sick, announcements to staff. Oh, no prep. I think that kind of stuff where we're expected to do things, but not given the time or resources we need to do them is certainly being thrown. Yeah. Okay. So did anybody have a hard time thinking of being thrown?
I was like, we're experts at this. We know.
Yeah, exactly. This is our sweet spots, everybody, as human beings.
I even noticed, like, I'm like reading it. I'm like, oh, like it's a lot.
I'm feeling stressed for all of you. Yeah, absolutely. I am. Okay. So Shannon, you want to take the
So as I was just saying, even I'm noticing just even as I'm reading them, I'm starting to have a reaction. Like I'm feeling it right there. It's right there. And so there's sort of how to look at it is there's a moment you're thrown and instantaneously you have a reaction. It's an automatic, unconscious, really no thinking involved reaction.
Yep.
And as leaders, we want to grow awareness of that space. We want to become highly attuned to that automatic space that we move into when we're thrown. And so part of our work is today we're going to kind of identify what happens in that split second moment after. And there's, as I said, it's automatic, it's reactionary. You're not thoughtfully saying, well, how should I respond to this? It's not that. It's the small reaction in the moment. So when that reaction happens, a good place to begin to look is often our bodies. So often our body will be one of the first signals that we've been thrown. For me, I notice I'll get kind of jittery. Sometimes my arms tingle. Sometimes I'll go red in the neck. Like there's a reaction in my body first sometimes. And then of course, there's always a thought. There's always some sort of thought that flies right in. It doesn't mean I say the thought out loud. Sometimes it slips out, but there is moments, there's a thought. And it's not a grown-up leadership thought. It's a reactionary thought. And then there's a feeling, fear, anger, sadness, concern, frustration, you name it. There's a feeling and an emotion. So part of what we want when we're working with teams and leaders is for everyone in that system to become more awake and aware and conscious of when they're thrown and the automatic reaction that kicks in. What we often see is that people don't even have those two distinctions. So they're being thrown and then just reacting and then acting from that reaction.
Right.
So today we want to expand our awareness of that. So is it chat time? Yes.
Yes, great. Which Hong already like perfect.
They're on it. Okay.
100. We have the same thoughts.
Great. And for some of you, I know some of you we've worked with in the past. So yes, thank you for just being brave and putting out what you've already learned about yourself in this space. And what I know about this conversation is it is like forever. Like you get to always be an inquiry about how am I getting thrown these days? And what are my automatic reactions? So in the chat, if you could just be whatever you're willing to share, what is the automatic reaction that happens in your body or in your mind or in your heart when you're thrown. So for me, my first reaction, honestly, is often some anger. That's my go-to emotion. It's like my favorite emotion.
Mhm.
I often will try to figure out like like my body gets sort of, like I've said, like jittery.
Mhm.
And then I'll kind of have a thought like, why do I have to deal with this again? Like it's that sort of thing just automatically kicks in is a good idea. Courtney, do you have some you'd like to add in?
Well, yes, I too am very advanced and I like to have many at a time, but
Yeah.
so I definitely, anger is my easiest emotion too. So I think on that, I noticed that on the scale of 1 to 10 of the being thrown, anger is the lower ones. I think sadness and fear would be when it's really a big one,
Yeah.
because those are my like less easily accessible reactions.
Yeah.
But so anger is one, definitely heat. I just feel like heat happens.
That's great.
And so I think that definitely, and I think under that is like a worry that yeah, there's a worry. Like I don't
Yeah.
want it to be,
Yeah.
wrong. So
Well, and I think that worry is interesting because in some ways what's happening is our own survival is being triggered in the moment.
100%.
Like, am I going to be okay? That's really what's
Yeah,
at the core of this.
of all
So
of
I
it.
love that.
Yeah.
So we have
I
some
think we
great
like to
ideas.
pretend that we're like really evolved animals, and we are, but we're animals, right? There is
Right.
an instinctual, something is not okay. That's
Yeah.
what being thrown is. Something's not okay. And so there's just natural instincts.
That's
So
great.
yeah.
Yeah. So
We got a lot
beautiful
of really good
examples.
examples here.
So I love getting
Active
quiet.
reflective. Mhm.
Yep. Clenched jaw, resistance, gut
Mhm.
tightening. I love all these. I
Yeah.
puff up, redneck too. Hey, I like that's me. I'm like get kind
Mhm.
of great, John. Head
Defensive.
down,
Mhm.
rolling eyes, shaking. Oh, I love rolling eyes.
Head
I'm always
down.
forget sometimes that people can see my face, and I'm like, oh, did I just do that out loud?
I have a friend
Great.
who would just yell facial filter to like remind me to
Yeah.
put it back on.
And Julie, I love that anger, disappointment, and then a struggle on how to handle it appropriately again. And so that is, and then some panic. So that's great. That's such a great example of, I mean, first of all, courageous to say it comes out sometimes, and then how do we recover? But the first step is how do we just begin to build muscle in I'm thrown and I'm noticing a reaction right now in myself.
Yeah.
And how do we create enough spaciousness for that?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good.
I love, John, that you even know that you have that your head literally goes down, right? So I wonder if, like, for first of all, working with you, that's a great thing to know.
Yeah.
And also, in ourselves, when we know that the quicker I can recognize that in my body, that I have tells for myself is really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And
And
then
out loud, really. Sorry, I just like that one a lot.
yeah, I love out loud.
Really?
Really? Really? Really? So, and then in some context, I like the way that context came up. There is the context of work, the context of home, the context of in your car alone driving through traffic, the context of a grocery store. There are different ways that you're going to react. And you probably have your go-tos in those contexts. And so that's an important thing to know, that we do operate differently, really based on some level, what's more acceptable in certain situations and what's not. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great, Delmas. Rubbing the back of your head. Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, keep
Okay.
doing it. All right.
Beautiful. So, so we've been doing this particular body of work, honestly, for about 20 years. And I would say what has shifted over 20 years is awareness around context, around, how are we different based on our gender, our orientation, our ethnicity, where we are located in the world. There's all different reactions that happen for humans. What is the same is that we have reactions as humans. They look different for everybody, what they do, but that is the uniting thing, is we all get thrown, we all have a reaction. So what we've seen is these are the most common ones we've seen in workplaces that we predominantly work with in the United States of America. So more Western-centric workplaces. So when you go through this and when you're reflecting on this, what also matters to us at Henley, it's like one of our core values is levity. That given that this is a shared human experience, there's no need to have shame or judgment on ourselves or to be like, oh, I'm so bad that I do this, or why do I do this? No, there's actually like relief. When we do this in a group of people at a team, there's often laughter and joy and relief because now we all are in the same conversation. We all now are saying, I do that, I do that. Oh, I've seen that, I've seen that. And there's a connection that happens. It actually increases belonging and connection and community, saying like I'm connected with people that are like, oh, my neck gets red too, or oh, I get angry too. It's like, great, we're in. So these are the sort of the top 10, so to speak. So I'll do it myself. This is one of my favorites. Something's not working. I'm angry about it. I get thrown that it didn't go the way I thought it would good. I just want to take it back and do it myself. It just happens. That's an automatic reaction. Self-righteousness. This is anytime you think you're right and they're wrong, or you're better and they're not. Full stop. That's it. Self-righteousness kicks in. Self-sabotage. So this is like where that turns on yourself. Why did I do it that way? I shouldn't have done that. What's wrong with me? I'm going to take myself out. I'm not qualified. Whatever all that is, that kicks in. Acting politically. So this is being nice, being tough, doing what you need to do to survive the current system or situation you're in. So it's almost like a chameleon. You're just going to do what you need to do that will match the need in the moment. Cynicism. So this is like, I'm not even going to get hopeful. I'm just going to shut down any possibility. I don't need to even risk being hopeful about this. I'm already going to take on the stance that it's not going to turn out because I don't want to get harmed. Sarcasm. So this is really using humor, not to bring joy and humor and fun, but using it as a way of kind of maintaining power in a situation. And I know for most people, they've had a sarcastic moment with someone where they felt like, ooh, that stung. Intellects, I love sarcasm too. It's one of my favorites. Intellectualization. This is just going up in your head about it. Sort of like, I'm only going to think data. I'm only going to use my smarts. I'm going to outthink people. I'm going to outprove people. I'm going to outdebate people. Coalition building, or we can also call it gossip, where I'm going to go find people who are more aligned to my perspective, my beliefs, my judgments about the situation. And those are the people I'm going to kind of gather up with. And then withdrawal, which is I'm just going to remove myself either physically or mentally or emotionally from the situation. So when you're thrown and a reaction kicks in, these are the common ones we see in the workplace. Courtney, anything you want to add about that before we kind of?
Yeah, I think you skipped domination, which I think is hilarious and Freudian.
Well, it's because it's a legitimate way to lead. I love domination.
Like you can only say those things if you work really well together and you have the same one.
I know.
Yeah. So domination, obviously, and I want to reiterate what Shannon's saying is that domination is a perfect example of one where it depends on your identity and your location and all sorts of things. Some of these are more acceptable stress-based reactions, depending on the situation. They're more valued. I'll do it myself can be very valued in workplaces.
Yeah.
Some people can love that that's your stress-based reaction because great. Yep. For doing that. So I think that's important to note. And then Steph has a really good point here where she says, these seem like they may be the follow-up reaction after the initial automatic reaction. Yeah. And so some of these are also things we can do at choice. Sometimes it is safe. It's the safest thing to do is withdraw from a situation.
Yep.
Sometimes you have to dominate. I need to make this decision. I'm just going to do this. I'm the leader of this team. Yep. Sometimes I'll do it myself. It has to get done. And the difference is, are you doing these things because you are choosing to do that? I need to act politically. That's the safe thing for me to do in this situation. That is a choice. And that we get that too. What we're talking about is when immediately kind of that judgment in my body, the body happens and right away I make you wrong. That's an automatic domination. I'm not being at choice in that. Does that make sense? Is that Shannon?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But I can also hear you're speaking to Courtney is almost when these become habits.
Yes.
So there's a habit I can have where I just do it all automatically. And I actually do. And my team is aware of this habit of mine, which is like, I can do it. I'll take it. It doesn't mean I should never do anything, but so it's clarifying like, no, I'm choosing to do this myself because of X, Y, and Z versus an automatic reaction about it. That has now become habitual.
Yeah.
Great. So these are just, so I love the idea that the reaction happens and then we kick in some more maybe like named behavior and I'll reiterate, this is, you take this conversation anywhere in the world, a whole new list is going to be generated, which is what we love about even working globally is in a room with people, we have them generate what's happening in your culture, what's happening with your people. What are you seeing are the ones that are roaming the halls. And you begin to really get a sense of what's happening when people are under stress and automatically reacting in that space. Beautiful.
Yeah. For example, Shannon and I have one that we were just talking about this morning, and that's lying. And I did this with a group of teenagers, and every single one of them was like, "Oh, I lie." Which makes sense. They don't see themselves as having a lot of power.
Yeah.
So when a teacher says, "Why didn't you do that?" They're like, "I did." So it's an immediate reaction. And I laughed about that. My lying shows up as, well, I think pretending to know more than I do sometimes.
Great. Yeah. That's a
Janet?
great one. Another one that is on this list is acting confused. And this is like, oh, I don't think I got that email. Or wait, when did you say that? Or I'm sorry, I'm not really understanding your feedback. Those are all good ways that like you kind of like, but it's an automatic thing. You're not strategically playing it out. It's just you notice it's happening. Yeah. Beautiful. All right, Sam, I think, do we have a poll, Sam, where we can see? Great. So we're going to throw up a poll. Which one of these resonates the most with you? I don't know if you can pick more than one. I think they're just asking for one.
It's only one, yeah. But most of us, will say again, we're advanced. And most of us are doing multiple of these kind of at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the one thing I've known, because I've been in this conversation for close to 20 years now, is that they change.
Yeah.
Like I'll have seasons of I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
And then I'll have seasons of self-righteousness. And then I'll kind of gain some awareness around self-righteousness. And then I'll have seasons of self-sabotage. And then I'll get some awareness around that one. So they move and they shift. And it's really, really important to know that our automatic reactions are not going away. What we're doing right now in this conversation is we're taking the bold move of reflecting and naming and understanding it about ourselves. So as Courtney said, we can be a choice about it.
Yeah. And these have served us. There's a reason they adjust and adapt. And that let's be a little gentle with ourselves for a minute. That this is what's protecting me and saving me in that moment that I'm thrown is this thing that protects my little heart and my body and my mind when I'm feeling out of choice and out of control. And so, how do we name them so that we don't have to blame and shame ourselves for being human beings?
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about some antidotes so that I don't have to act like this in a way that I don't want to be, that feels out of my values.
That's great. All right. So it looks like most people still coming in a little bit. So as usual, honestly, I'll do it myself always tends to be the winner.
Sam, can you share the results? Because I think
I can see them. Sorry. I didn't realize people couldn't see them. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I think, here we go.
There we go.
Okay. Beautiful. Can everyone see them? I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
So to Courtney's point, she brought up like there's some of these reactions that are in some ways encouraged and often rewarded. So I'll do it myself can be encouraged and rewarded in our workplaces. And if we're doing it as a way of surviving, then we want to pay attention to that. We want to bring notice. And I'll just name that if you're a leader and you're doing it all yourself, there's a cost. There's a cost to you. There's a cost to your team. There's a cost to developing others. So we want to be paying attention to, what's happening when we're employing this all the time. Self-righteousness, it's a good one. And honestly, I think if every human being would tell the truth, we all have moments where we think we're right and they're wrong. Full stop. That's just a really normal one. Some cynicism. What I find about cynicism is there's often like one or two people in a system that are like the cynics, that they're named as the cynic. And Dee Dee Henley, our founder, had such a powerful way of relating to cynics. And she said, the cynic is often the one that has the biggest heart in your system. They're often the ones that care the most and love the most. And it's somewhere along the way, it kind of became painful to have such a big heart. So they shut it down. And I think that that is such a beautiful way of looking at yourself if you're a cynic and relating to others is you have a big heart and it hurts when it doesn't go the way you want it to go. So it's safer just to be cynical. Sarcasm. I think that's honestly when we're in team settings, even as facilitators, we'll see that the sarcasm will come out as a way of sort of relieving the pressure in the room, or sometimes we'll see it as a way of even like squashing a conversation. So great to name that. And then domination. I also think that more people like this one than they want to admit. So I appreciate whoever was like, "Yep, that's me." Because I think,
yeah.
yeah,
If you scroll, there was quite a
oh, is there
couple
more? Okay. Oh, good. And then withdrawal.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that one's pretty common too.
Yeah. And that one, I think, part of what happens, I think, is the workplaces will have a reaction and we know we don't know what to do with it. So we're just going to be quiet. And then for me anyways, I'll say, and then I'll go home and then I'll like debrief at home. So part of it is, I think someone mentioned, like, what do we do now in those spaces? Yeah. Beautiful. Is that all of them, Courtney? I think I got them all.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Beautiful.
Oh, I think you can close that. So there we go. Oh, it keeps coming back. All right, there we go. All right. So the antidotes. We know that these are going to happen because we're human beings.
Yeah.
Right. So what are some ways that we can acknowledge that we are here and in our stress-based reactions and get ourselves back to being at choice about how we want to respond to this issue that threw us? So, for example, one of the reasons we started with a check-in today is I think doing a check-in with myself, like what's happening right now, and just naming it often helps me get off of it. Like, oh, I'm thrown. Like even saying the words out loud, oh, I'm thrown, or saying them in our team feels really powerful because someone will say, oh, I'm really thrown. And we all know to just take a pause. I feel like taking a pause might save half of the world's problems. But
Courtney, I just want to tie something to what Steph just named in the chat. So Steph said, I usually withdraw when there's no psychological safety. And I love that connection between how much we might use these and how much psychological safety we're feeling in an organization. So you have the benefit if you work with a team that knows this work, knows these distinctions. So you are safe to say I'm thrown because you know all of us will drop in and say, that's right. Great, got it. So I think both stuff, what you named is so important is how do you build that safety so that there is more permission.
Thank you, Steph. That's so true.
Great.
Yeah. And that's kind of a lot of our work with teams, right, Shannon, of like, how do you create it so that your whole team has this language?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have those conversations.
Yeah. And just the benefit of how quickly we can work as a team, even because there's the permission in the moment just to pause, stop, reset. So Tara says, name it and request time to pause.
Yep. Go to the facts, step out of the emotion. I think that's always great. Like, what story am I writing versus what's the actual fact of what's happening?
Yep. I like that.
Any other antidotes that other people have?
How do you, when you're in a reactive state, I'd say resettle or kind of come back online or move more into responding thoughtfully? 3 deep breaths. Great.
Yeah. Go for a walk. Absolutely.
Yeah. Good. Beautiful.
Anybody else have any?
One of mine is to be quiet and not like withdrawal, but part of it is to kind of go inward for a minute. And like you were saying, Courtney, what's happening over here right now? Because sometimes I'm thrown. I don't even know why I'm thrown. I'll just notice I'm having a reaction to something and I have to settle in and figure out what's really going on. Ooh, facial mist. I like that.
I'm really into that, Casey. I actually want to try that. Water, I feel
for many reasons. I'm just running hot.
Yeah, that too. That too. Sounds awesome for that purpose. But also, I think water is such a gift in things like that. It's so soothing.
So cold plunge stuff. Courtney, there's your person.
I do a cold plunge in the evenings, which helps. But I also can't do those in the middle of every workday all the time. So, yeah.
So what I love is so many of you named a body related thing to do. Cool mist, close your eyes, take a breath. You can hear the returning to your body and the importance of that. One of my coworkers, he goes and just washes his hands like just cold water on his hands.
Mhm.
Is this thinking serving me? What a
Ooh,
beautiful
what a
question.
great question. And I love this. Why am I speaking? Ooh,
Oh,
Marcella, did you just call me out?
you feel both seen and a little like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
That's great. All right. Beautiful. So what I love about this chat is you already know. And I think this is the beauty of a lot of the work we do is we are equipped with the tools. And this is even at the heart of coaching, is we often know what there is to do. We just need the time to identify it and name it and put the practice into place. And so I love this list. It's a beautiful list.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Good.
Thanks.
All right. Perfect.
So let's implement this learning as you go forth. Shannon, do you want to, or am I up?
Sure. Yeah, great. So just be aware. So I think the biggest thing about this particular body work is it's simply about awareness.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's just increasing awareness. Almost this first step is don't do anything about it. Just notice. Oh, I'm thrown. Oh, I'm having a reaction. Don't even worry about fixing it or getting rid of it or anything like that right now. Just the awareness, the awareness, awareness. As you walk through your day, there it is, there it is, there it is. Just practice the presence around it. And then naming it for yourself first, always. I think I'm thrown, I'm having a reaction, I need 5 minutes, I'm going to go wash my hands, whatever it is for you, like that, just begin to verbalize and tell on yourself a bit and bring levity. Because we've been immersed in this work so long, we have a lot of fun with it right now. Like I can be like, I think I'm feeling the need to be a little righteous right now. I feel like I just want to withdraw and want to run away right now. Like we can bring it into the conversation with joy and levity. And then the sort of the advanced conversation around this that we aren't going to get to in a webinar is this accountability for it, that it does have an impact. We do a bigger body of work around the cost and the payoff and why it's at play and really the impact on a culture when you have an entire system that's running on stress-based reactions, and how do we as leaders increase accountability around that. Not something we can tend to in a 30-minute webinar, but begin to be curious about that for yourself. What's the impact? And then please do not, these are like, don't do this. Do not hang up from this lovely webinar and go out into the world and start telling everybody what their stress-based reactions are. Do not do that. It never works out. You'll just cause fights everywhere you go. No more than you want someone coming up to you and saying, I think you're withdrawing, or I think you're being righteous. So don't tell anybody else what theirs are. And don't try to get rid of them, as we said. Awareness is in many ways the antidote. The naming it is the antidote. If you get rid of one, another one will come up for you to learn about, and that's just forever. And then please don't be hard on yourself. Courtney said this. This is, we're at an era where I think self-compassion and kindness is so necessary. And in any time we're in a learning and development curve, that's what we want. We want to have a lot of grace for what we're learning about ourselves. And that's part of being able to repair. If one of these actually goes out loud, you get to now say, I just did that. I now know what that is that I just did. And, but I'm not going to be hard on myself about it. I'm going to, be kind. So beautiful. Anything else, Courtney, we want to add?
No.
All right. Good. All right.
So we'll leave you with a little checkout, because I think, again, one of our goals of this whole series is that what's one tangible thing that you can take away and then practice before we see you again next month with a new topic. But what is one thing you can do this month to keep this new learning alive for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You'll enter in the chat if what you're willing to share with us. I'm going to think about that for a second.
And for those of you who were with us last month when we talked about the triangles, you can probably begin to reflect on the connection between these two bodies of work. And you'll start seeing the ties from it. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. As soon as I go to domination, I go to that persecutor role.
Yeah.
No problem.
Tell them myself.
How am I showing up? Yep. Naming it out loud, telling myself,
Yeah, the
Deep
face
breath.
mister, I think, is going to be like,
we're all buying face misting right now.
hey Sam, maybe we need those in our facilitator kits for our participants.
Oh, that'd be so fun to give those out.
Cooling down, a cool down tool.
Yeah. Oh, I love a sticky note to my desk that says breathe.
Good.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Time. Yeah, gosh, time. It's a pretty
Yeah.
or commodity of such a valuable. Be kind to myself. That's really, if we could encourage generally anything, I feel like being kind to ourselves is something we really.
Oh, good. We have actually highly recommend that. I can't even pronounce it. The code, the
Oh,
elixir,
okay.
FYI. It must be
Sam, add to cart, please, Sam. All right. Hold boundaries. Oh, I think that's a powerful one too, right?
Yeah.
When our boundaries are, when we don't have them, we can
Yes.
get thrown. And then I think that obviously goes into the doing it ourselves and acting politically and things like
Or
that.
one's been crossed.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
absolutely. Not because I'm willing to train and coach or necessary.
Uh-huh. That's great.
Totally, yes.
Yep. That's a great one. Beautiful. Adds to cart. See, I'm just shopping now.
Sam's shopping for us. All right, everybody. That's great.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, doTERRA. Yep. Love
Okay,
doTERRA.
great.
Yep. Love it. Love it.
See,
Perfect.
we get to learn at these things too every time. So grateful.
Okay, so have a really wonderful month ahead. We wish that January just gives you an opportunity just to expand your awareness around this part of yourself as a leader and begin to get curious about the implications of it. And then also, if you have topics that come to mind that you would like us to
Yeah.
cover during these webinars, once again, we meet every month. Feel free to email them to Sam or whatever emails on your invite. We more than happy to hear what you want to chat about.
Absolutely.
Great. Bye, Stacy. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have
Thanks,
a
everybody.
great month ahead. We're here if you need us. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
As they check
Thank
it.
you for your contributions today.
Yeah, seriously. Bye, Damas. Bye, Vinay. Beautiful. Oh, hey, Maro. Oh, bye, Maro.